Hi guys, welcome back to the Hill Project for day 2 of Wrestle Kingdom review, where you will find the greatest Japanese pronunciations of all time over here.
Yes, it's the WrestleMania of wrestling, as someone once said.
Wow. It was day 2 wasn't as good as day 1. We will stay off the bat, but it was still good. We still had good things. We will do it as we did yesterday with going in order of the matches. So we had the four-way match at the start of the show with Toro Yano, is that how you say it? Beat Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, and Bushi. That match had a good few spots.
Yeah, it had a good pace. It had a good few spots. I think, I'll be deadly honest, it's very early we started watching, and I think for us, there may have been a bit of sort of burnout.
Potentially.
It's been a lot of wrestling over 2 days, especially with Raw last night as well. It's just there's a lot. But yeah, I think that could have been partially to blame for, because I think I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we're going to say that pretty much the same thing for this next match. It took till the third match before we both kind of just picked up a little bit and went, "Oh, okay, yeah."
They were. I think they were genuinely slower matches anyway. In this Fatal 4-Way, we the finish wasn't as what we were sort of hoping for. Because, like I said, there was some good matches. It was only a 7-minute match. For a 4-way match was a bit odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't. Again, similar to yesterday's day 1, it wasn't below average, and I think that's a good sign. But it probably was the poorest match of the weekend of the entire Wrestle Kingdom, I would say. Sadly, one of them's got to be, I guess.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Then we had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship with Suzuki Gun beating 108. So
I'll be deadly honest. I knew nothing about either of these teams or anything about the match, and I don't think this was their best showcase. If they are particularly good, I couldn't really get into the match. I think that was my biggest problem here. And like I say, some of that could be down to the fact that I was just a bit burnt out and wasn't ready to get into the swing of it straight away. It was very early, as I said.
Well, that's the sad thing about it being early morning. Early morning starts with Japanese wrestling, isn't it, for us, if we're watching it live. So there's one of things.
I will say as well that the first 2 matches were quite short.
They were 7 and 13. Yeah, 20 minutes.
You were asking me. I remember at the beginning, you was like, "Oh, do you think they're going to be as long as yesterday?" Thinking it was going to end quite quickly compared to yesterday's one. Obviously, it didn't.
Yeah, they started. They
pretty long.
They were decent lengths, to be fair.
Well, the final match, I know obviously we're not on that yet, but they were saying that it was close to, if not just past, the longest Wrestle Kingdom main event ever.
Well, according to my records as if you've watched this before is Wikipedia. So someone's updated it within the last few minutes. 48 minutes, 5 seconds.
Yeah, long match. I don't know what the previous was. Kenny Omega versus Okada, but I don't know how long it was.
Okay. Any
They did say on the broadcast, but I didn't make a note of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Any Japanese fans, let us know in the comments below. Actually, to be fair, it'd be interesting to know.
Some interaction going.
We then had one of your favourite matches of the last 2 days.
I think it was my favourite match of both days. Yeah,
is it really Takagi? Shingo.
It reminds me of Papa Shango's name. It's Shingo.
Shingo, not Django.
I've not seen him before, personally.
Beating Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb's a big dude, we'll say straight off the bat, and Shingo, we're just going to call him Shingo, his ability to move Jeff around the ring was rather impressive. It's got to be said.
Very much so. big, hard hitting, heavyweight action, and I mean, I loved it. That's how wrestling should be.
Mm.
Just two big in balls banging into each other and doing damage, and that's exactly what we got in this match. And like I say, that was my match of the whole weekend, or the whole say weekend. I'm so used to wrestling being on a weekend. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, I keep instinctively doing it.
But for the whole sort of 2 nights, that is my match. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was brilliant. I wasn't surprised by the end, but I was surprised by the end as well. It was very well done, and the result. Again, I think it's just because I wasn't familiar with Shingo going into the match.
Right. Yeah.
But obviously I was kind of familiar with Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I kind of thought he would win. But that's just, it's very strange trying to get my brain into, because we've got to change from like the way that we look at wrestling.
Yeah.
The Japanese look at wrestling, and it's very different. There's very subtle changes, but it is very, very different. And the change is, it completely throws off any sort of predictions or things that you would have for it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed that match.
So then we had Sonata defeating Evil with Dick Togo. Great name.
You were very, very happy with his name, weren't you? It made you giggle quite a few times.
I was early mornings. I'm a complete child, so yeah, Dick Togo was tickled me a little bit.
We will call him Richard from now on.
Richard,
just because that's short for Richard.
Richard Togo.
Richard Togo.
So in that match, it was. We said was going to probably. Well, you said was probably going to be the hardcore match that was on this card, and it was. The funny thing is, seeing Evil compared to one of their tables was great, because he dwarfs it. Absolutely dwarfs a table, and that's
literally
the
double the width of the table.
Yeah. But again, good match, and it's told a little story going into a future event for them as well. So, and we'll get to that. It served its purpose. Good match. I'm interested by both of them now, and I think that's plenty enough, especially for someone that never watched Japanese wrestling before. I think that it's done its job really well. It's got me wanting to watch what's going to potentially be the next thing going forward. Yeah, I don't want to give it away just yet. Anything else you want to add on that one, really?
No, there's not much to add, mate. It was a very good match.
When a full 23 minutes 40 seconds. Like
the poor timekeeper.
Oh, and yes.
The funniest spot of the night. So Evil rammed straight into the barricade.
Yeah.
Right next to the timekeeper's table.
Yeah.
And because the timekeeper's table was right next to it, it rammed the table as well. And the table went flying on top of the timekeeper on the floor. And then about 3-4 minutes later in the match, they picked it all back up, put it all back into place. He did the exact same thing again.
Brilliant. Well, that sort of thing when you end up with two identical spots and you end up with some poor innocent person being the sort of victim in it. Adds something to it.
It's very funny. I mean, obviously, it's probably not intended to be funny. You know, the way that their culture is, it was probably intended as,
brutal.
How bad is this person? He's such an evil person. Excuse the pun as such.
Yeah.
But it was just really funny.
It was great. Then we had Takahashi defeating Ishimori for the Junior Heavyweight Championship.
We did.
Again, Takahashi. Was it Takahashi that had the match last night? No, it was Tanahashi. I could have sworn that was they fought last night. They did. There he is.
Good, yeah.
So he fought El Phantasmo. I was confused then. I really confused myself. I'm sure they did. Yeah, so he fought El Phantasmo last night for the chance to go into this match. And again, they put on another. He's put on another good match here, and walked away obviously as junior heavyweight champion.
Yeah, took another belt out of the Bullet Club.
I'll be honest on this one. I missed a few minutes. I was as the problem with filming in the day, watching in the day, watching live. I had the children running about the house, so I missed a few moments in that match.
I'm sure I missed some of the key moments in that match as well, just by it being during the day. We're focusing on other things as well. We probably shouldn't be, but it was a good match from what I saw of it. I must say it probably didn't hold my attention as much after the match we just had, but it was still a great match from the bits that I did see. The ending was good. Yeah, there's not much else I can say. It was a good match. Like it's a very consistent thing throughout Wrestle Kingdom and throughout New Japan Wrestling in general, I suppose, is that they put on great wrestling.
Yeah.
The actual in-ring wrestling is fantastic. The thing that I struggle with New Japan, and I've said this in the past, is availability, finding it, knowing when it's on. It's very all over the place. There's another show on tomorrow at another different time. So yesterday's show started at 7 a.m. Today's show started at 8 a.m. Tomorrow's show starts at 9 a.m. And then there's a week before the next show after that. It's very higgledy-piggledy what they do and what they do. It confuses me, and I think that's one of the things that's kept me away from following the product more closely. The other thing that I will criticize about their stuff is their in-ring psychology a lot of the time. Simple things like the ref. You pointed it out to me a couple of times. The ref going for a count and then just kind of stopping because he knows the match isn't ending there.
Yeah, and as well as the going the other way with the actual wrestlers themselves. What match was that? I think that was in the Shingo match, Shingo and Jeff Cobb match, where they both ended up literally both of them staring at the ref, which is fine for obviously the person pinning Cobb, but Shingo was literally watching.
But yeah, like I say, it's very much down to the refs, and there's a few other bits as well that you'll pick up on by watching that are a bit sort of out there and like, okay,
yeah.
But again, a lot of it comes down to their culture compared to our culture.
That's the thing I found hard to get not even get used to, get adjusted to. Yeah,
it's definitely there's definitely a culture shock change. They're very subtle changes, but they are big changes at the same time. It's strange.
Yeah, exactly. It's like little things, but you didn't think that would make a big difference in wrestling, but actually they really do.
Yeah.
To what we're used to anyway. So, of course, we then had the main event, Kota Ibushi, Jay White. Kota Ibushi going in as champion because of last night with both the heavyweight and the Intercontinental, and managed to retain, which we saw. It's hard. We both said we could see him winning it again, but we wouldn't have been surprised if Jay had gone out as the winner as well. But what a great match this was! I thought this was a great match. I think it goes with a lot of credit to Jay, how well he's helped write out basically what going forward for Ibushi now, because of just that whole thing where he was being smashed in the face over and over and over again, and he's standing there and taking it. It makes it seem like he's going to be a hard champion for them to beat, and it makes the whole heavyweight and the Intercontinental Championship a lot more prestigious by having somebody like that as their champion now, and that goes to credit, I suppose, to Jay White for helping build that.
Absolutely. And obviously, take nothing away from his victory over Naito yesterday as well.
Yeah.
I do think that tonight's match was better. He stepped it up to that next level, so it was great.
This I think might have been the match of the weekend. I've done it again, but the match of Wrestle Kingdom for me, and that's always good when you can finish with the main event, because We were talking at the time, and reflect, I think we're right that maybe it was just an early morning start, but this is, and it was maybe like unpolished, or nothing was quite as crisp and clean as it was yesterday, but this match was, and there was nothing I could really fault with this match at all. And I think it's going to be great. You were hoping for a certain Kenny Omega to maybe make an appearance in this?
I was. Like, it is what it is. At the moment, the world's kind of shut, so I'm not surprised it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think it'd have been a lot of extra work they probably didn't need. If they even wanted to, they may not have done. Kenny might not have wanted to be fair. Don't know. But 48 minutes for a main event. Superb. End of the match. We had Sonata come to the ring and basically say, "Can I go for it next?"
Yeah. There was a lot of the God thing as well, which was weird.
Yeah, it's a weird route that I think they're going to be going down with Ibushi.
Yeah, but he is definitely their. I mean, he's their big baby face, isn't he, Ibushi? Like they all love him. All the commentators were crying at the end of the match, and they were, it's a massive moment for New Japan, obviously, to have someone that's that level. And to be fair, like, everybody knows who he is. He was in the Cruiserweight Classic over in WWE. He's one of the few people that refused to sign with WWE despite being offered a job. He's a massive name in the industry, so it's not like he's some guy that's come in and won the title that no one knows. He is a big name. But there was a stat about the Wrestle Kingdom thing that I don't remember, but it's a Brock Lesnar stat that they mentioned a couple of times, and I think it was something along the lines of he was the first person to win in his first time in the main event at Wrestle Kingdom since Brock Lesnar. I believe that's
2005.
Yeah, in 2005. So the last 15 years, which
technically
was the first
would be 16 years, mate. We're 2021 now.
Well, this is Wrestle Kingdom 15, so that must have been the first one.
I guess, yeah, maybe. Yeah. But overall, the whole Wrestle Kingdom, I was rather pleased with it all. I thought it was worth getting up to watch it in the last couple of mornings.
Yeah, definitely. I've really enjoyed it. I probably will watch tomorrow's Bushi Road. Is it tomorrow or something like that? I probably will watch it, but obviously we won't be doing what we have been doing for these, mainly because not many people follow it. The Wrestle Kingdom is their big one, and loads of people want to see it. Don't get me wrong, at some point in the future, if people do start to want to follow our New Japan stuff, I'll watch more of it. We'll do some streams over on Twitch, etc., and we'll see what comes of it. But
yeah, if there's anything like people want like that, then make sure you let us know in the comments. Plenty of other ways. We're on lots of different platforms at the minute. Want to come find us on our new Facebook group where we're starting our own little community, not just wrestling, sports, gaming. It's all a bit of everything.
Mate.
Sorry, mate.
This one's coming out today, and people might actually click on it sooner or later. Remember, there's also a competition on our Facebook group at the moment to win free merchandise and free prizes. So come join us. It's free. You might win free stuff.
The link is in the description, as it always is. But the Facebook group in particular is the one that is going. We're pushing the last few weeks. So yeah, thank you very much for that last couple of days, Link. I enjoyed that. I wouldn't have done it if you hadn't have suggested that we do it, but I enjoyed that. And thank you for everybody that's come and watch the last couple of reviews. So please make sure you leave a like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.
Peace.